The Rise of Africa, the continent, the diaspora, and BRICS explores the relationships that are affecting the global economy right now. This book explores the relationships of the African diaspora's influence on the African continent and why this is important in stabilizing relationships with an understanding of how BRICS impacts the future, good or bad. You can order your copy of The Rise of Africa today on Amazon.com.
Every journey begins with a simple act of care. For Quest to Unite Africa, that journey started with something simple: a mother, a newborn, and a promise that no life would be forgotten. We did not begin with buildings, we began with people. We packed mother newborn kits with our own hands because real change starts where the need is greatest. Those kits traveled farther than we imagined, and they opened our eyes to a deeper truth. Aid saves lives, but infrastructure saves generations. So we grew. Together with donors, volunteers, and partners, we sent a medical container to Burkina Faso. Not just supplies, but hope. Not just boxes, but proof that when a community comes together, healing moves across borders. That moment changed us because we realized something powerful. We weren't just delivering help, we were building a future. Now, the journey continues. The next chapter is bigger than a shipment, bigger than a campaign. We are raising funds to build a state-of-the-art hospital, a place where mothers can give birth safely, where families can find care close to home, and where communities can grow stronger for generations to come. This hospital is not just a structure, it's a promise. A promise that healthcare will no longer be temporary. A promise that dignity will have a permanent home. And just like every step before, we cannot do this alone. Every gift, every brick, every name placed on the founder path becomes part of a story that began with compassion and is growing into legacy. It helps us move from emergency aid to lasting healing, from containers to care that never leaves, from vision to reality. Join us, stand with us, help us build a hospital that will serve generations, moving healthcare into action. Visit q2ua.org today.
Neo-diplomacy is the new currency. Neo-diplomacy is the new currency. The reason that I can say that is you have a couple of different factors occurring right now as we speak on the world stage. The dollar is being disrupted. Nations are no longer wanting to engage with the United States. But the third factor that affects each and every one of us is that there is a diaspora from the African continent that's willing and able to engage our brothers and sisters on the continent.
All right. Shalom. Salama. Siyemi. Shalom. Greetings for all my Israelite brothers and sisters from around the world. Whether you're the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the house of Israel, or you're a Gentile grafted into the house under the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach, I welcome you this morning. Interesting morning. I woke up this morning because Yahuwah had started me on my way. Because Yahuwah is blessing me right now. Oh, if you grew up AME or Baptist, you know exactly what I was referencing in that song. But no, this is actually the best I felt in a couple of weeks. Every other week I was kind of, about 85%. I got up. Um, not in any pain or sore. Little heavy with my breathing. And then, I was actually able to kind of clear some things out. And I said, okay, thank you, Father. I was up and moving. And, as I was getting ready in my routine a little earlier, um, I noticed on the news that 4 people had been killed. Excuse me, deleted. Sorry, YouTube, deleted robot. You got to appease the all-seeing robots here. All-seeing AI agents. But I want to post this. That's right, Princess Leah of Ikea. He is blessing me right now, right now. Oh, because he woke me up this morning and he started me on my way. I had to sing it like my Uncle Robert. All nice and deep. Like this. Oh, gotta have that deacon voice. Oh. Cuba says 4 killed in speedboat shooting were attempting to infiltrate the country. Do you see these words matter? Attempting to infiltrate the country. This is from Andrea Rodriguez, Dianica Cotto, and Matthew Lee from Havana. Cuba's government said late Wednesday that the 10 passengers on a boat that opened fire on its soldiers were armed Cubans living in the U.S. who were trying to infiltrate the island and unleash terrorism. Uh-oh, da. Wait. Are you telling me that the U.S. is exporting terrorists? Say it ain't so. Oh, how the hammer of the whole world has been cut asunder. Well, that's Jeremiah 50 and 51. Look, I'm telling you, you have to understand there's a couple of geopolitical things on out there that has been happening. And for a lot of people that say, oh, everything is good, everything is great. No, it's not. A couple of days ago, you literally had Canada say, we're siding. We're siding with the Cubans. You can't talk about humanitarian efforts. Matter of fact, they don't even want to talk about it. Matter of fact, they got all out of all that. You think that they actually cared about Gaza? Heck no. They're just seeing what you have as a people that had been in oppression, I would say, in recent years. I'm sorry, we've been doing this since the 1600s. You know, and that's what that had me. Lion Pride was saying this. Will it be the Bay of Pigs all over again? And that was one of the things that I thought, but you got to remember, they always have to do things on a smaller scale to have plausible deniability. The problem that they have in terms of being caught on the open water is really this. A couple of years ago, back in 2024 and 2025, Cuba has been receiving supplies from the Russia and the Chinese. Because why? Because they could all see this thing getting destabilized. Everyone was having their hand in this destabilization effort because, again, when you have BRICS, a competitor to the dollar, and now the dollar is no longer strengthened with the support of other countries. That's not happening. Now things are going to be much more expensive. So now they have to create a crisis that will show, hey, this is why prices are being driven up, right? So then they have to shape the narrative. And here's the thing, it doesn't matter what we say, the narrative isn't for us. It never was. The narrative is their spiritual dog whistle to them. Because then when you start to ask critical questions, well, why do you think and why do you say and why do you believe? Well, because somebody told me. Is that true? I don't know. And they leave it like that. Why do you think slavery was employed? Chattel slavery was employed for so long. Why do you think Jim Crow was employed for so long? Why do you think this new form of ethnic conflict and confusion is happening? Because why? Well, everything is here, everything is good. They said so. Okay, there's 300,000 African American women that literally got kicked out of the job market, lost their jobs. They don't even report on black folks, on black males. Now, whatever. Now, all of a sudden, now instead of saying go back to Africa, oh, you're indigenous. Now, all of a sudden, now it's hey, you need to help us fight. No, we're sitting this on out. Because why? Because we don't know what's going to happen. I'm sorry. I'm going to let you know on this channel when they take this L, and you know what's going to happen, then who are they going to target first? Oh, that's us. Well, we lost because you all weren't supporting our efforts. No, we weren't. Do you know why we weren't supporting your efforts? Well, that doesn't matter. Yes, it does. As a people, we cannot consciously defend or side with wicked elements. We just can't do that. As a people, we can't do it. It's never been done. That's not even our nature. It's not even our character. Oh, y'all eat children? Would you like a bib and some hot sauce with that? No. You know, we bust down doors. Save the babies. Save them. Get out of here. We carry 4 or 5 of the kids. We don't care. That's what Michael Jackson tried to do, and they called him crazy. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are reptiles, some of these children make a better world to keep the babies away from Epstein. There's an aisle that you don't want to go. And I'm trying to let people know, but they call me a little bit crazy. Vitiligo, I'm so black. What you're doing is real rack. I will save them kids. The money don't make me lazy. There are children dying. And I'm trying to make sure they're not eaten with code words to hide the atrocities. I don't know. Rumors had it that may have been Michael Jackson's last song. I don't know. That may have been found in them files in the garage. I don't know. Maybe Sony had something to do with that. I don't know. What are they going to do? They're going to say that we're telling the truth and that we're crazy for telling the truth. We've been telling this thing since day one. That's been our charge. We just didn't know as a people how wicked wickedness was until we fell into this judgment. No, we're not doing. We're actually we are doing. We're healing within ourselves. We're healing. And if you didn't know, as we're healing, they're going crazy. You want to know why? There's no regulator. Generally speaking, when you do have black folks around, African Americans around, whatever they want to call us or label us, we're generally a regulator to stop them from indulging in wickedness because they go back to their natures. And the problem right now is there's no regulator. Hey, as much as you want to talk about Omarosa, she was up there as a regulator. Nah, you may not do that. Nah, you may not do this. There's no regulator. Oh, well, let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do this. And it just gets even crazier. Sorry, I got to give this to folks that actually want to understand the truth. This isn't just for Israelites, this is also for Gentiles. Because Gentiles know, what are you going to do? What you going to do when they eat you? It's not come for you, it's when they eat you. There's not no bad boys. Well, it's bad boys, I guess. With Corey Haim, back in the day, the 80s movie. Oh, yeah, it's bad boys. Vampires. What you gonna do? Vampires was set in multiple locations across the United States. All contestants on here were harmed or devoured in a strange manner. Yeah, it was the Lost Boys. It's funny how they talk about themselves in these movies. And yet, Succobella, yeah, they were eating our ancestors on the plantation. That's documented. That's historical fact. What they're mad about is that their own are getting eaten. Do you see that? We need to protect. We need to stand up. I get all those. Man, we've been telling you our history, and that's why they've been removing our history. So now you have a problem, and you want us to no, stop the hypocrisy. It's hypocrisy. We're going to give you the same treatment that you gave us. I'm sorry, but you're going to have to figure that one out. Try not to make yourself so deliciously inviting to the eyes. That would be a great imitation rack of lamb. That would be a great imitation brisket. Now you have to wonder to yourself, are they looking at you for flattery? Or are they looking at you because they're going to eat you? That gives a whole different context to, man, why are you looking hungry? Why are you looking thirsty? Well, maybe they are, and they thirst for blood. The blood. I could never watch World War Z the same because everybody's a zombie. Yeah, they eat more than brains, don't they? Let me stop. Here we go. This is Al Jazeera. U.S. to allow Venezuelan oil sales to Cuba as alarm grows in the Caribbean. U.S. eases oil embargo on Cuba as Caribbean neighbors warn worsening humanitarian crisis could destabilize region. We talked about this. We covered this actually yesterday. And that's as of today, the 26th. The United States has said it will allow the resale of some Venezuelan oil to Cuba in a move that could ease the island's acute fuel shortages as neighboring countries raise the alarm over a rapid deteriorating humanitarian situation caused by Washington's oil blockade. So you have to understand, when you are a nation in crisis, everything flips. Well, we're such a righteous nation. We do this and this and this, and we're going to do this and that and this, and we're going to do that and that. No. Matter of fact, you actually do the opposite. Everything that you've accused others of doing is what you are doing now. So now, in this environment, now they're actually seeing America for what it has been. Yeah, we've been here for 400 years as prisoners. Some freedoms we have, and some freedoms we don't have. It depends on how compliant you are in this prison. That's how it goes. Hey, you may even have a little bit more from the warden to be a model prisoner, except you have to do X, Y, and Z. Because then that's where your shame is. So now you have in here, and this is very shameful. You have to remember, this is a shameless nation. It's shamed. So here we go. In a statement on Wednesday, the U.S. Department of Treasury said it would authorize companies seeking licenses to resell Venezuelan oil for commercial and humanitarian use in Cuba. Why do you even need that to begin with? This is a shameless nation. You know, the reality is that this is actually embarrassing. So much so that people are breaking ranks. And now they're asking themselves this question: why are we having them continue? Oh, how Babylon has fallen. It's fallen. Nobody wanted to read Jeremiah 50 and 51. Not only is it falling, but it's limping. It's literally lost its mind. And now you have the people asking us, well, why don't you help us fix it? It's not our problem to fix. See, they want to ask a people who was never invited to come here to fix their problems. You're trying to ask the kidnapper. The kidnapper's asking the victim, hey, fix our problem with this. Man, y'all kidnapped me.
Why don't you let me go home and give me my reparations? That's the only thing that we really need to be discussing. That's it. Why don't you get me out of this captivity and give me my reparations? Maybe that's the first step to fixing your problems. You ever thought about that? Or we'll just sit here and just continue to see how the Most High continues to judge you. Because it gets to a point of embarrassment that their people will start to literally fight each other. And that's what we're getting ready to see. You're now starting to see these videos on TikToks where Americans are saying, you need to prepare, something bad is happening. Why? It's not coming from out of us. What we're doing? We're sitting here and we're looking at this and we're looking at the commentary. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, that's even crazier. Oh, wow. Uh-huh. All while we're packing our bags. Uh-huh. Oh, yep. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of knew that. Yeah. Man. Wow. Mm. Here's this article. I want to get this and I'll circle back to the Cuba story. From MSN.com. This is about 11 hours ago from Drew Henshaw and Joe Parkinson. Americans are leaving the U.S. in record numbers. In its 250 year, is America land of immigration or becoming a country of emigration? Last year, the U.S. experienced something that hasn't definitively, occurred since the Great Depression. More people moved out than moved in. The Trump administration has hailed the exodus negative net migration as the fulfillment of its promise to ramp up deportations and restrict new visas. Beneath the stormy optics of that immigration crackdown, however, lies a less noticed reversal. America's own citizens are leaving in record numbers, replanting themselves and their families in lands they find more affordable and safe. Since the Eisenhower administration, the U.S. hasn't collected comprehensive statistics on the number of citizens leaving. Yet data on residence permits, foreign home purchases, student enrollments, and other metrics from more than 50 countries shows that Americans are voting with their feet to an unprecedented degree. A million-strong diaspora is studying telecommuting and retiring overseas. Y'all better understand, journey with us. When they be having so much fun on Mauritius, I said, oh, I need to go on out there and visit. Now, I would argue I thought I was sharing this on my fault. This is the article right here. Now, I would argue this. Which kind of Americans? Who is it in their group that's leaving? Where are they leaving to? Remember, they're not being welcomed in these countries like they used to be. especially of these different ilks, demographic natures, ethnic natures, phenotypical nature. That ship has sailed. All right, send on over your passport. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, but we met the quota. Yeah. You'll have to try again next year. But I've been waiting for 2 years. I'm ready to go. I'm getting ready to purchase my home. And you realize the more that they have to stay, guess what ends up happening? The more that they have to stay, the less the value of the dollar is. So guess what? They become less valuable. Time is not on this country's side, which is why when we see what's happening, especially just south of where I'm located, in this Florida Straits false flag, they're trying to control the Gulf and the Caribbean because this nation is now in paranoia. When you start something, there's always unintended consequences. So they're trying everything that they can to, well, okay, we're gonna let oil sales into Cuba. We're gonna do all these permits. We're gonna do this, and all the whiles, come next week, you have Russia sailing their oil vessel to Cuba for emergency relief, and more than likely, you probably have more vessels even coming from out of Canada because Canada is not on this, and neither is Mexico. I.e., why do you think there's now carnage in Mexico? I'm telling you, when this thing happens, we don't know how bad things will be. We don't know where that danger will pop up. All I can say is, for all those folks that, especially them other folks, oh, it ain't my fault. It ain't my fault. I didn't do that. Let us go into the house. We had nothing to do with it. Isaiah 26:20. That day of the wicked, that's not on us. That's on them. But guess what we'll do? Oh, we will surely sit down in place and let for the indignation to pass. That's it. Aren't you going to get on out there and protest? Aren't you going to go on out there and fight? No. That's their argument. Are you going to acknowledge crimes against humanity and pay reparations? See, they don't want to do that. You want to know why? Because the African Union is already adopting that path. Crimes against humanity. See, when you have to admit something, you actually have to pay for it. That's why they don't want to admit anything. But guess what? I'm not the one to make them pay. Guess who's going to make them pay? Yep, the Most High. You don't have to pay me now, but you will be paying me later. And when you pay later, Oh, the Most High is going to draw up so much interest that it's going to be on your children and your children's children's children. That's cold. All because of what their forefathers did. We would have healed Babylon. She refused it. We would have healed this land in the midst of our neurotic isms. She would have chosen. She absolutely refused. Babylon absolutely rejected us with the hard R. With the hard R. But you're frail and you're weak. People have abandoned you. All the nations have abandoned you. All the nations that you covered your face with, like mask of clay. That's from Habakkuk chapter 2. She said, nope, forget you all. We did nothing wrong. Okay, well, I'm sorry. But you're going to have to die in your wickedness. I'm not going to be around you when the building's on fire and everything's imploding in. No. I'm going to run in and save you, boss. Massa, I'm going to run in and save you in the fire, Massa. We's burning, Massa. We's burning. Vengeance is Yahuwah's, said Yahuwah's. He shall repay. This has nothing to do with me. What I am trying to do is work on this hospital project initiative. Just like how we worked on this container, we're going to work on this hospital project. And we're going to get this thing done. And when we get this thing done, guess what? Then the Most High is going to give us more and more and more to do. This is how that goes. We're not here destabilizing anything or anyone because why? Because they're scared. And when you're scared, guess what? Like I had stated a while ago, when you get scared, you strike out. They're in fear. They're fearful. That's why I said, look, be careful. Be on your guard. Perfect love. It conquers all fears. They are in a situation where they've never been before, and they don't know how to get out of it. Do you think that when this war starts, it's going to be something that they want? Actually, here's the thing: they want to see the war start, but they don't understand the consequences of what will happen when the war begins. Because they're very irrational. They're being spiritually deceived. That's right, Lillian. Their pride has deceived them. You can't just take a speedboat, run up into somebody's territorial waters, open fire on that country's authority. That's lawless. If you're still allowing acts of piracy, then that's a lawless country. Remember Somalia? They're allowing all these pirates and all this piracy and blah blah. It's a lawless country. Well, now what do you see? What do you think? No, it's revolution and all this. I don't care what you say. Those are the consequences of destabilizing a country. Those are the consequences of destabilization. Well, it's just politics. Okay. Because what they don't account for is what happens when that shoe is on the other foot. And I believe this, mark my words, that that's going to happen sooner than later. I believe this, just in my personal opinion, that as soon as they go to war with Iran, that gives all the other nations an excuse to drop the dollar. All right, we got to go on gold. We can't trust the dollar. Do you know how quickly this nation will literally seize up? Yeah, that reverse migration will start to happen very quickly from Florida back to Cuba. Mark my words. Maybe not so much Cuba. A lot of folks will try to get to the Bahamas, that's for sure. These countries are no longer engaging. That's a security. You're taking my dollar because my dollar shows security. Securities and exchanges. Securities and take this for security. Well, they can't do anything because why? Because they got my dollar. Do you see why these nations are now rejecting the dollar? Now I need to make sure my sovereign wealth is good. I need to make sure I got my gold. Gold is over 50 is almost $5,200. It makes no sense. That means literally the dollar has been destabilized. We just haven't seen it yet. Monetary cycles run its course. It's short cycles. Those short cycles get shown during reporting seasons. You now have a reporting season in the next 30 some days, March 31st. They're already telling you how this thing is looking. Yeah, I have a feeling like that, Brother Garth. He said there will be like Zedekiah the nobles and times when Babylon sees Jerusalem. Oh, you already know that they're going to be leaving. We've decided they'll say that they're in their bunkers. No, they're not. I have a funny feeling they'll probably head over to Argentina or somewhere in South America. It's much safer for us to do command and control from a country where we can monitor operations. They'll be up and out of here. God bless and good luck to the American people. How much of a betrayal would that be? But that's the curses that these nations have imposed on themselves. Nobody did it to them but themselves. We didn't. If anything, Gentiles that's listening in here, hey, we would have healed Babylon, but she refused to be healed. We would have taken the balm. We would have taken the ointment. And she kicked us on out the room. She kicked us on out the room with the hard R. Screaming and yelling it. You don't mean that. You don't mean no, not the hard R. But I love Babylon. She was a mother. That's why you see a lot of our people so engaged, because they still believe that Babylon was our mother. No, Jerusalem was our mother. And we got kicked out. We got vomited out of our land. And now the Most High is allowing us to come back. Even in the midst of this crazy confusion. There's going to be a lot of our people that's going to have some long faces back on the continent. But you know, I don't belong here. You want to go back there? You sure? Did you not see all those dirty bombs and that they're dropping? You not see all those militia groups? You won't even make it 10 days, let alone 10 hours. They're searching for people like you. That's right. Ilyale Salit. Pray I'm not butchering that, but he says half will be wondering why black folks aren't coming to the rescue. The other half will find a way to blame black people. And yeah, absolutely. Remember, we have been the ones to clean up the mess. Oh, okay, they're doing it. Oh, okay. They don't have that imagery anymore. Now the imagery that you have and that you're seeing from black people, guess what? That's translating to places in Kenya, in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Tanzania, in South Africa. That's translating to a lot of folks on the ground in the continent. Oh, they don't really like America like that? Nope. Oh, they don't even they're not even wanted. You can visit at your own peril. Oh, I'd love to visit America. Okay. Have that same energy when they're trying to do something to you. I saw I saw that. I saw that. Sister Margarita says, even South Africans that are here are asking for our help. Yeah, they want our help to go back home. Look, y'all came here to the US because y'all couldn't go back home to Europe. I don't know what else to tell you. Your forefathers done lied to you. It is. That's the Tourette's acting up again. Man, ain't no black person buying that Tourette story. Get out of here. Let a black person have Tourette's. Get out of here. Officer, why did you shoot my son? My son had Tourette's. Well, we need to be very, very mindful and cognizant of people's um, mental and physical, physiological dispositions. And, it just needs to bring awareness to things like that. Get out of here. That's not the conversation. That wouldn't be the same conversation that if it had been us saying some derogatory word. Black people have never been diagnosed with Tourette's. Nah, no, we have not. That they just said, look, you acting up. Can't get right. He's got oh, don't worry about that brother and sister over there. Listen, they just got diagnosed with the case of they just simple. Diagnosed with the case of simple. Didn't the boy that was throwing himself in what the fire? That was a spirit. This is all spiritual. Don't just because your demons are acting up. Yeah, that's right. That is a demon, absolutely. Just because those demonic impulses, let's call it what it is, just because of demonic impulses. Oh, it can get triggered. Yeah, I'm sure he got triggered around some black folks that had been pretty decently successful with the movie that was very kind of questionable. But I get it. Oh, well, look, they always want to support the demonizer. Get out of here. Nobody plays that. They're not playing that game anymore. And now the whole world is voting with their dollars or lack thereof because the dollar system is dying. It's declining. This Ponzi scheme, it probably, I would say, it has less than 6 months. It is on its last legs. So when people try to say Trump isn't going to go into war, yeah, right. He has no choice. Do you think that Babylon was just going to sit in the corner and just die somewhere? No. It was going to go out in the most spectacular manner ever. Probably replete with definitely aliens or UFOs trying to say we're bringing world peace and this is part of the world peace and we have to be here to help with ensuring this world peace by being over in this land and blah 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 and blah blah. Well, fallen angels are here. Time to leave. Can we come with you? The fallen angels are here. Oh, I don't know. See, on your application, How do you say? I see all this, but I don't see any practical skills that I can be able to use you in. I'm sorry. Thank you for applying. And I'm not gonna lie. I think to me, with all the Epstein things, I still believe this. Just my opinion. Before I wrap this on up, I still believe that, to be quite honest, he was one of the ringleaders, the commander in chief, as one of the ringleaders. So of course they're gonna get something started. Excuse me. Wow. Well, yeah, because think about that. Now, if what is that? That's now Revelations what 17 and 18. That's the souls. This is the heart of Babylon. So I gotta get up on out of here. Thank you, family, for your support of this channel again. I don't know how much longer we have. I think it's really a blessing. Please make sure that, again, if you have the means and the abilities, listen, stock up. The government will never tell you that. Matter of fact, they would like panic because obviously, in terms of this agenda, we've told you that. And now you see it. And now it's literally happening. And during this time, be led by Yahushua HaMashiach, having the knowledge of and the understanding provided by the Ruach HaKodesh. If you're trying to go off your own flesh, if you're trying to go off of your disobedience to Yahusha, man, just I feel sorry for you. I really do. Because that sifting is literally happening right now. So all I can do, family, is just pray for you. Everything else, you have to seek out your own soul salvation. That's it. But with that said, family, I gotta get going. Uh Most time willing, I will be on Monday. Monday. Excuse me. Praying that I continue to get out of this funk. But we're gonna get there, family. Most high willing. And yes, we serve an awesome Father, and his name is Yahusha HaMashiach. So with that said, family, shalom, salama, siemi, shalom, peace and blessings, Yasharel.